All right, guys. Welcome back for another episode. Scram That's here. We got Marcus, got the crew back. Today we're going to dive into the youth sports like we kind of have in the past, but this time from a parent perspective. Want to hear all of the horror stories of, you know, parents yelling on the sideline, getting mad at refs. Want to get y'all's opinion on, what is a encouraging parent and involved, and what's maybe a little too much. What's the man version of a Karen? That's a better question.
Oh, I don't want to say Jason. I don't want to say Jason.
No, it doesn't flow. It doesn't have the same context.
No, is it a Bob? It might be a Bob.
No,
Would a Bob?
I don't
He's a
know.
Bob.
I don't know. I don't feel like a Bob is. I mean, it's pretty close to Marcus, so maybe.
It's getting closer. Yeah.
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 Are
What's
you looking at? Are you literally looking it up?
Oh yeah,
that says Chat GPT.
We're asking Otis. We're asking Otis this. I got a Ken, a Kevin, and a Kyle.
I think all those are great options, to be honest.
It just went with the K. It didn't even go anything different.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to be a Karen, yeah, I guess you can be a Kevin. That's
So it's funny. A little bit of a tangent on the use of Chat GPT.
Oh my god.
I was in a meeting yesterday, and I'm always on my phone, like even in meetings, because I'm emailing, I'm texting. I have project teams that are texting me. So like I'm generally always on my phone, even during meetings, if I'm not on my computer, which I hate being on my computer because I take notes on my iPad. So anyways, we're sitting there and we're kind of starting this new, like, I'm gonna call it a playbook, this thing that how we want to build, get started off on projects properly, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to find this acronym. They're like, we need an acronym to like call this, right? Like something, some cliche trademark type style name for this process. It's like, cool. So I'm sitting there, I get on ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, I need an acronym for this. This is what we're trying to do. Anyways, I pop out. I was like, hey, how about, so-and-so? And I read off what the words meant. They're like, oh, that's really good. I really like that. And this went off for probably 15 minutes. They were like, good job. Like, how did you come up with that? I was like, yeah, I didn't. ChatGPT did. Like, I literally just typed in what we're doing and it told me what to do from there. I was like, I'm not going to take that credit.
Use. I think that's a good use of ChatGPT because sometimes you can't be that creative on the spot where it's like, we got other stuff to worry about than to like figure out this acronym. I think that's a perfect use for it, to be honest.
Speaking of Otis ChatGPT, my brother-in-law works like in the digital sector, and he said we need to stop using it because of all the government regulations with that brand. So they said, was it Claude? I think Claude is a better AI system that we need to go to. It's a little bit more private, protects you a little bit more.
So how much money is he making off Claude?
I don't know. I use Gemini.
Yeah, I don't.
The school's got it covered. Gemini works pretty well. So
we have Microsoft at work. So I mean, Gemini is what we use too, I guess, technically. I don't ever use Gemini though. There's
so many.
I use ChatGPT
platforms, and it depends on what you're looking for. Platforms for calculations, platforms for writing, platforms for artistic stuff. Then it says use this one because it's built better for these different components and algorithms. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I have noticed, like when I've done in the past with Otis and Gemini, I get some better images from one or the other. And I don't remember which one was which, but the creativity side was a little bit better on one of them.
Yeah. Go back through your history and let me know which one, because I use ChatGPT obviously quite a bit. And even when I want to get inspiration for some of the Photoshop edits that I do, I'll use ChatGPT. But if you think Gemini is more creative, I might try it.
I feel like some of those initial logos and designs, the ones that we liked, I think came from Gemini.
Did they? Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one.
But
I love using it.
I think it just depends on what you're asking.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll upload like a photo to it and be like, hey, like I'm kind of stalling. I don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? And it'll look at the photo and be like, oh, well, you have harsh light here. Lean into it. Do this. I'm like, oh, cool. great. And you kind of learn, it's how I learn, right? I have it teach me all these things and how to use whatever the picture's giving. And then you slowly just stop using it and do it all yourself because you kind of already have
You
an idea.
learn.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So, all right. Let's get into some youth sports talk here.
Well, I don't know what that is anymore.
you have years to lean back on, and you have to deal with parents, so you get to talk about it from the other perspective.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's a whole different story now.
I want to get y'all's opinion because I see the writing on the wall here. I'm keeping my mouth shut because as a company, we are trying to work with McKinney Lacrosse Club. Like I have a proposal in for retainer coverage, so I'm gonna play the party line here. So the 5-6 team, 5th and 6th grade boys, they ended up merging with Allen. So how lacrosse does it, it's kind of like hockey. So Jason will know this. It's by your address to what the city considers the home field for the team, which in this case is like 2 miles from our house for McKinney, even though he's Prosper ISD. So he will always be on the McKinney team. The Allen team disbanded. I don't know, pay of coaches and whatever the reason, right? So the McKinney team got big because half of Allen is now coming to McKinney. Some of Lovejoy is also on McKinney's team now. So the 5th and 6th grade boys team has 30 plus players, and they play with 8 on a field at a time. So I think 8 or 9. So they split it into 2 teams, and the lesser quality team, the white team, which is the one that Trip is on, they only have like 5 games, and we pay like $800 a season. So I see the writing on the wall that some parents are going to get pretty frustrated here because they signed up for what should have been a 12 plus game season. And some people have already started making comments on the group chat. Want to get y'all's opinion how you would go about handling that in your normal fashion or your Ken, Kevin, whatever fashion.
Chad Brad.
So Marcus, what I'm hearing is Alex wants advice so he doesn't go off the rails with this.
Oh no. Again, we are
He's on the
tied.
fence. Yeah.
we are tied as a company, so I'm keeping my mouth shut. Honestly, look, here's the deal. Trip is he loves the sport. Right now it's all reps for him. So whether it's game reps or practice reps, he does box lacrosse on the weekends. He's getting plenty of reps in. And honestly, I told him as far as on the white team, you'd rather be the best player on the worst team than the worst player on the best team at this stage, right? Get more reps, the coaches love him. He's one of the starting players on the white team. So it's like, you know what? Take it for what it is. Most of the blue team are 6th graders anyways. You're a year behind them, 3 to 4 seasons behind them in lacrosse because you're all of 2 seasons in. So no, I truly don't care. Yeah, it sucks. It's a lot of money to watch 5 games, but I truly don't care. So this is not a Alex question. This is I see the writing on the wall, and I'm like, grab my popcorn, waiting for someone to blow up because of how much they're paying.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. At this age, I think you kind of said it. They're at 5th grade. I think if they were maybe a little bit older, I'd be a little bit more vocal, I guess is a better word to say. But I mean, right now, like you said, he's getting the reps in. I would kind of sit back and watch the popcorn too. It's not, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting to with lacrosse. You know how much it costs to get into it. I don't know. It's different for me. I like soccer. It's pretty chill, simple. You just see the ball and some cleats. For now, yeah.
I was gonna say, you and I both play competitive soccer. I think you know what that. I mean, and lacrosse is very similar. It's you pay to play. It's essentially a team. It's a city team, but it's essentially a club. Like you pay for uniforms, you pay for everything you would need. I mean, even when they get into the older ranks, they have different helmets for each team, and those helmets are like $300-400 a pop, especially custom designs. So I mean, it all gets up there. Baseball gets up there. It's all the same. I think as I've gotten older, I have fallen into the camp of like, look, I can't control it, so why am I going to get mad?
Yeah. Same.
it comes back to it's actually funny. Had similar discussions just with golf, similar players, and then obviously just soccer because like I know kids who play and just years of doing it, and you get this really kind of a borderline player who could be is the best on, let's say, call it JV, or they could get some playing time on varsity. Well, the kids, of course, high school feel the pressure and just like, oh, I want to be on varsity, I want to be on varsity, but you're not going to play, you're not going to get the reps. Stay on JV, you'll get more reps, you'll learn from more, you'll get the experience. And there's things that will happen in a game that you just don't get in practice. Just like we talked about, there's stuff that we're going to get on the course way more than we
Hmm.
are actually going to be hitting on a mat or in a bay. So it's hard to convince players. And then nowadays, parents, it would be probably beneficial for your child to stay one level lower, get the reps, get the experience, get playing time. Like that's what it's all about. Like even with some of the golfers, I've got someone on the fence that are like, yeah, you could be my fourth or fifth spot based on score. But from what I'm seeing as a growth side of it, you're not ready to go up to
Yeah.
that next level with the pressure that's added at that higher level. So it's kind of like a both child and parent problem that
Hmm.
exists today in sports because they want them to be the best. They want them to get the scholarship. They want them to go be famous. And that's what 20% of all players, maybe
Not even.
like
It's like
like
1%.
can even get to
Yeah.
a level of that ability. So it's
Hmm.
like be happy, get playing time, be part of a program, be part of a team, learn from that. Not now, if you're a stud, you're going to be already up there.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, that's a
bottom line, if you
different.
are that
Yeah.
good, if you got all the training in the world, you're going to be varsity freshman or sophomore year. And if you're already there and proving yourself at that level, then
Yeah.
hats off to you.
It's funny you say that. Because where the boys play home games is the old stadium, which is where we played when we were in high school. Before they built the new stadium. So, anyways, it brought back some memories. And freshman year of high school, there were two of us that made varsity on soccer. And when we played the inner city game, the one that's actually played at the stadium there, they moved both of us down to JV for that game. And at 14 years old, you feel a certain way about that. You're like, what the hell? I was on varsity and now you're putting me on JV. And the coach kind of sat us down and had that exact conversation. Was like, look, no, like these are two big games. They're inner city rivals, they're district rivals. Like we want to win. Um, and you two make the JV team better in that, but you don't really offer the varsity team that much. Like you're going to come in
Hmm.
as a sub and play half the game, or we can play you most of the game on JV. And we ended up, he was a defender, I was a forward. I ended up scoring, I think, 2 goals that game. He had a great game. We ended up winning. So it's like, when you look back on it, what, shit, 20 years ago now, 22 years
Hmm.
ago, you're like, huh, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it lines up with exactly what Jason was just saying of like, hey, sometimes it's better and you're being set up for success if you end up playing on the worst team.
Yeah, and I think that's also kind of, I don't know, now kind of setting the expectations because just how Jason said, you get 1% that's actually going to be making it to that extra level.
Hmm.
When in reality, like you think back on your soccer playing days. I mean, those are probably the funnest times that I could remember. It's like doing the tournaments and being with the team. And I don't know, for me, like if it's being too focused on trying to get, I don't know. It sometimes it feels like it's turning away from a team thing to a personal thing because like I'm gonna promote myself and get better. When I mean honestly, like right now, I'm enjoying the kids right now because you can see it in their face. They enjoy playing it, and it's
Yeah.
not in their head of like, oh, I need to be good. I need to do this. Like no, they want to get better on their own, which is amazing. Which I hope I'm gonna keep feeding them on that train. Because who knows what'll happen, but as long as they're having fun and we can look back and a couple years and say, oh, those are really good times. Just
Well, I
spending
think,
Saturdays and Sundays on the field.
yeah. And I mean, you hit on something that Jason and I talked about last week. I don't know if you listened to the episode today or not, but we talked about the NIL era of players, and you just talked about, it's a personal brand,
Mm-hmm.
not really the team.
Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, it's the culture we live in now because it's all about the highlight reels. Even watching, I was at my nephew's senior night last night, taking pictures. And even the celebrations that they do after they score goals now in soccer, I mean, we would have been carded for doing half of what they did when
I
we were in
haven't
high
seen
school.
those yet. What did they do?
Go look at the gallery that I have up on the website, and you can kind of
Okay.
see some of the celebrations that they've done because I got some of them. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's cool and all, but I, that never would have flown. Just like in high school, when they score touchdowns now, they celebrate a lot more than they used to. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to have fun, but the world has changed, and it is much more about the personal brand and the highlights, um, and that's even trickled down into youth. So
Mhm.
2 seasons ago for Grayson's team, we had one specific, and this gets into the Karen conversation. We had one specific dad that, man, he was a lot. But he would make highlight reels after the game. And I mean, his kid was one of the worst, like just absolute trash talking everyone, thought he was the best player in the world, would give the Babe Ruth point to the outfield before he hit the ball. And in the back of your head, you're like, I hope you strike out. Like, I know you're on our team, but I kind of hope you strike out here, like just to humble pie you a little bit. But man, he was just vocal. Like he would yell where to throw the ball, and this is the kid's first season with live ball, so they're throwing it, they're missing it, and the player that hit a single should have only been a single because the second baseman should have just held on to the ball. Ends up getting to third base or even home because they miss 4 throws, all because he's yelling second base, third base. It's like, dude, at what point as a parent, one, do you realize you're detrimental to the team? Two, as another parent, at what point do you go, dude, shut the F up? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just shut up.
Oh.
What would you do in that scenario?
I don't know. I'm seeing now I'm getting to be that parent because I'm probably yelling some stuff from the sideline to get my kids' attention. But I think between where oh shit, I am that parent, I guess. Self-realization.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, I was like, oh
It's Marcus.
man, it's me.
Okay,
we were when I was
the male
when I was
version
thinking
is
about
Marcus.
when I was thinking about what we were going to talk about today, I was like, the first thing that came up was like the dad we thought we would be versus dad we are, and I was like, no, that's too deep. What we just got there with Marcus. He just realized the dad that he is.
Yeah, well, it's because the backstory. So Marcus has done baseball, right? Which is great because I never played baseball. Blake's never played baseball. So we were just there quiet, observing, hey, enjoying the game. But now that he's playing soccer, something that both Blake and I really enjoy, Blake was out there, coach needed help. She was out there, hey, running drills before the game to help both teams get ready. Like, so the Addie's team and Marcus's team, in which, she needed the help. The coach needed help. So it wasn't like she was overstepping her boundaries. She was like, hey, you look like you need help. Let me help this out. But me, I think that's a good example of when a parent should step up. But for me, when I was on the sideline and I saw Marcus just kind of hanging around and there was a blue shirt behind him and he wasn't paying attention, then I would yell from the sidelines, Marcus, blue shirt behind you. And to get him in the correct position. So yeah, that's just me enjoying and wanting to do better and trying to get him in a good spot. But I mean, I think my wife handled it a little bit better than I did of just trying to help where they could.
To extend on that, it wasn't anything I did, but observing it, when you get parents yelling from the stands and the kid turns and listens to the parent, I oftentimes, I mean, when I was coaching the high school team, the girls would look and actually look to the stands and raise their hands like, what? Or tell their parents to be quiet.
Yeah.
And the play went on behind them. And then they had to go now catch up because the parent was distracting from what they actually were trying to do. And they were doing fine, but the parent was like wanting them to be that extra. And it's like, you're hurting the team because you want your child to stand out. And sometimes standing out is doing the right thing and taking a step back.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my dog's on top of me. She hates storms.
Yeah, I know we're getting hit pretty hard over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's where it comes in. Like, I think Marcus, the difference is like you're being helpful, like you're saying, "Hey, guy in blue," like you're not necessarily trying to get Marcus's attention or saying something that's going to distract him. So I think that's a little bit different. Um, but yeah, it's when you get those parents that are like trying to coach from the sideline, and you're like,
Yeah.
dude, like, look, you did this. I know you're trying to live vicariously through your child now, but maybe don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I tried saying when I was
Let's
muted.
just calm it down.
When you couldn't hear me, I was saying they were living vicariously because they peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, not wrong on that.
You know, it's funny though. So, but I think it's also a realization that like parents need to have like real talk, right? You need to be able to be truth. If you're truthful with no one, at least be truthful with yourself, right?
Mhm.
So we went to my nephew's game 2 or 3 times ago. And my brother-in-law was like, "Hey, you know, Issa can come sit in the press box with me." And I was like, "Okay, cool. If you're gonna sit in the press box, like I don't care." We get there and I was like, I kind of thought he was kidding at first. Like, then I was like, well, whatever. Like he is the assistant or sorry, the athletic director for a soccer club. So like it would make sense that he's tied in with the soccer program for the high school and maybe he helps with stats and all that. Anyways, I see him after the game and I was like, "Oh, so you really were in the press box the whole time?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's better for everyone." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "No, it's just trust me. It's better for everyone if I'm not in the stands." I was like, "Okay, well, at least he's honest." Was like, he played professional soccer. He coaches professional clubs. He coached in college. Like, he knows his limitations and he knows that he won't be able to keep his mouth shut in the stands. So he just removes himself and watches from afar. Be real with yourself at least.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Understanding your place and how you behave for sure.
I think right now I will keep my place on the sideline, but I can see later on that I'm gonna have to watch by myself and away from everyone else. I don't know.
You hear those crazy stories. So we left. There's 2 youth baseball leagues in our town, right? Little League and then the city one. Um, and we left Little League a while back because they didn't have umps. Like they had like 1 ump for games, and it's because the umps were getting accosted in the parking lot by these pissed off parents because of a call they made or this or that. And in my head, I'm like, how invested are you in this T-ball game or coach pitch game that you are confronting an umpire after the game? Like, I don't get it, but I can understand heat of the moment. And you're like, dude, that was not an out, but whatever. Like, I kind of at least understand that. But like, it takes a long time for these kids to get off the field and pack their bag and get their snacks and walk to the car. Like, you got a lot of cool down time between that and parking lot. Like, how are you still that upset?
Man. Like our district is like reaches out to people and saying like, "Hey, we're short refs. Refs are coming in. We don't want parents, but we're going to be shorthanded because they don't want to ref anymore because it is getting out of control." Even like you said, little league, middle school, that's elementary. Like parents are so bad, but I think UIL and them have stepped up and said refs have a little bit more freedom of power to remove people. Just if they say one word, they're just like, all right, you're gone. And it just takes care of it. It's really bad with basketball, like in the high school gyms.
Yeah, I get that. It's a lot closer quarters. I will say, like last night, I was a little shocked that the ref didn't end up kicking out. There was these high schoolers that were sitting like the first 2 rows of stands, and I mean they're in like a football stadium, so I mean you still have a track between you and this and that. But the ref, they honestly did call a pretty bad game. It was lopsided. They weren't calling equal. It was bad. Anyways, these fans were getting kind of into that ref. I'm kind of surprised he didn't tell them to get out of the stadium.
Maybe some refs are just hardened; they can handle it.
Yeah, he honestly just ignored it. Like the only person he engaged with was the coach, and the coach was pretty. There was one call that was terrible. Coach lit into this guy. It was great.
All right. What's the one that they always get called on? The offside or missing the offside or tripping, holding, tackle. Yeah. Like,
so
now say, oh, it's fair. Like, what's the worst? Like, what happens more often?
Offsides is definitely the worst. But I will say in that scenario, they only had 2 refs. So one on each half. So there was a handful of offside calls that were questionable one way or the other, whether it was or wasn't offsides. But it's also because they're not calling it from directly down the line like a linesman typically would. So,
Right.
but in that scenario, you put your critical thinking hat on and say, is this worth me getting upset about when it's not going to change? Like the ref's not all of a sudden going to be in a better position next play. Like there's only two of them. So that's where it gets me. Like the people that just get upset over things they can't control, and
I
they
think
get
that's their anger management issues. I think they just haven't found fulfillment in life, to be honest. Because if you're pretty level headed, I mean, but really, like if that's pissing you off, I mean, I'd
There's
hate to
something
see
else.
it. Yeah, there's something else going on in there. Like someone did something. I'd hate to see them in traffic, to be honest. Like,
all right. So since we're on the conversation of traffic, so I was going to say they're the guy that cuts you off. But before I say that, how many of us in this room are the ones that drive all the way to the end of the lane just to get over, even though they know they need to get over?
it's just
No,
easier that way. Yeah.
no, that pisses me off when people cut me off. So I'm very good about mapping my path and sitting back and finding it. Now, do I get aggressive to get to that point? Yes, but then I exit because I know some jackwagon is going to wait, and that's why so many of those barricades are smashed because people wait way too long to move over and merge or
Do
get
you
off
want
the
to
ramp.
hear my take, Jason?
All right, here we go. Here's
my take.
Marcus. Here's the Karen Marcus.
Here's the rage bait.
Here's the rage. Here we go.
Here's my take. All right. So before you get to the end of the exit and people are exiting it off, there's always a space that they leave behind because no one's paying attention. So if you just pretend that you're going in that next lane, you can swoop in real quick. No harm, no foul, because there was already a spot there that if you were really adamant about going through, you would have been, nuts to butts behind each other. But they're not.
Don't you remember the rule back in driving school? You're supposed to leave 3 seconds space between you and the car in front of you.
I didn't go to driving school.
Check.
Check. It is way faster my way, just so you know.
Faster for you, but it impacts someone else.
If everyone got that way, well, no, you know what? I don't want to give my secret out. Let's cut this out of the podcast so no one knows that secret.
So he rides the shoulder every once in a while. It's okay,
No,
it's
I
fine.
don't ride the shoulder. No, you'll get a ticket for that. But there's no ticket for. You're not even cutting people off. You're just merging when you're supposed to, because you still do it at the dash line. It's not even a solid line.
So that's
at that
I guess that's the topic worth debating is when should you merge? Like if you know it's going to merge, do you wait until the very last minute? Is that the right way to do it? Or is it more prudent to get over earlier?
If I want to get there sooner, I wait till like 200 to 100 yards before I'm supposed to go over.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. If you're coming onto the freeway and you're trying to speed up, and then there's a person next to you who you have an edge, you're trying to get on, but then they decide like, hey, you know what? Instead of slowing down because they are exiting, they cut you off just to get on the exit while you're trying to get on.
Well, usually in driving school, if you put your blinker on that you're going to go that way. Common sense, that guy slows down and you merge over.
Oh no, yeah, I do that. I put my blinker on. I put my blinker on, like, hey, I'm trying to come over.
Yeah.
And these guys just zip up to literally get off, and it's like you could have gone right behind me because there was plenty of room.
Yeah.
But you had to get in front of me. It's like, why?
I haven't had that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are the ones that it's just. Are you ridiculous? Like you literally zipped up when I was in front of you, ready to move over just to get into my spot when I was. It's like those exchanges. I'm like, why? I don't understand why they do.
I'm gonna say something about that in 2 seconds, but Marcus, I got to go back to your statement here.
So Alex is guilty of it.
You said he didn't go to driver school, but then you just quoted driver school. So I mean,
yeah, I know. I caught that.
Well, mixed signals here.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I mean, I didn't go, but I'm just asking someone who did because
when it was required, I took it when it was required. And you had to go through a driving instructor and go to the DMV to get your license.
I didn't. Well, now that I'm old enough, I didn't have a license until I was like, I don't know, like 19 or 20. but I was driving since I was like 16.
So remind me not to get in a car with Marcus.
I'm a great
no,
driver now.
If you are getting on or off a highway, my theory is the person coming off the highway always goes in front, because you shouldn't be decelling until you hit the exit lane or ramp. Because what pisses me off is people that slow down in the lane before they get over into the decel lane. So they're going 60 when we should be going 70. So no, you should be
accelerating
70
already
until you. Yeah, but y'all should be going the same speed, so they should be able to slide in front of you and you slide behind.
No, I'm going faster than them, going on the freeway, and I'm ahead of them.
And I get that. That's what I'm saying is they are wrong. No one on the ramp should be going faster than someone on the highway, because the highway, the slow speed is in the right lane, and that should be 5 miles an hour over the posted speed.
Oh, come on. That's not happening.
I think we need to ask Claude.
Yeah.
Who is right?
Ask Claude this.
Yeah. Claude, how fast do you go when you're going to merge on to the highway?
So going out to my nephew's game last night, it was like an hour and a half away from here. So my mom, it's all the way across town. It's over by Marcus.
Oh, damn. That's far.
Yeah. So my mom came and rode with us, and we were driving her car, since I don't have one that fits 6 people. And I gave her, I think, full stress the entire time while I was driving. She was like, you get so close behind people and you don't use blinkers and you weave in and out. I was like, I got somewhere to be, Mom. Like, we're on a time constraint. Like, this car turns into a race car and we go.
Gosh, I don't want to drive with either one of you.
You've driven with me on a golf cart, I think.
Yeah, but we only go so fast. We only go so fast.
Funny thing is, you can actually do some damage. I had a buddy, and we all know who it is. I will be nice. We were playing at Heritage, and he decided to try to drive like kind of through some of the trees and somehow hit like a stump and completely bent the axle of the cart. I was like, dude, how did you manage to damage a cart while playing golf? Like, these things go 10 miles an hour. Like, how did you manage to do that? Yeah, I think he turned it in like at the turn and was like, hey, this wheel's all messed up, and they swish him. They never got his information. I was like, y'all are idiots. This is what you deal with the carts,
dude.
Staff.
But some of those carts, if they will tip or just like slide real easy.
No, I will debate that. I will agree. It is not hard to do, but I will debate that. I worked at golf courses since I was 15 years old, and I never once flipped a cart. And we did some dumb stuff. And I've done work scrambles, which Marcus knows. Work scrambles are, you know what show. Like,
it's a
everyone's
party.
It is. And I got thrown out of a cart, but I never flipped a cart. So, yes, it is kind of easy. I'm going to say not hard, but I wouldn't say it's easy. Like, I don't know many people that have actually flipped a cart.
The circumstances have to be right for a flip. That's for sure.
You have to be acting really stupid to flip, unless you're on like a hill. That's a whole nother conversation.
Hill, or you're turning hard and you hit a bump just right that propels.
But like, you see these ones on Instagram or TikTok where they like do a legitimate flip and you're like, how did you do that?
Oh, and some of the speed that you see them coming in the video, you're like, what golf cart goes that fast?
Okay.
Unless it's personal ones.
I was just about to say that, being a member up here, I knew some guys that had street legal carts, and you're supposed to turn it down when you get on the golf course, but most of them would leave it. So these carts are pulling like 30, 35 miles an hour down these cart paths, bobbing and weaving. I rode with one of them one time. I was like, dude, I need a seatbelt. Like, this is borderline reckless.
Oh yeah.
Golly.
We've come a long way from our conversation about youth sports, by the way.
I can imagine dudes doing donuts in front of the cart girl. It's like, oh, she's gonna love this.
Well, went to youth sports, to parent issues, to road rage, so it all
golf
connects.
carts. To
So
golf
there's
carts,
all a
which-
connection.
which connects to road rage and yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Golf
okay.
carts, youth sports, golf carts, and road rage. That's the title.
Okay, so let's let me pull this one here. And Jason, I guess it's been a while since you've had a kid in sports, but you're gonna get there again. I've been coaching for the better part of my kids' sports, so really lacrosse is the
I guess
first
I didn't
time
like
that
his
I'm on the
question.
sideline, not doing anything. Granted, I'm taking pictures now.
I'm just kidding, Jason.
Yeah, I was like, Alex, what happened? You totally blocked out.
Just realized I froze. No, I was going to ask you another question because Jason, you're about to get back into sports. So I think the Yeti phase was prior to you having kids. I have been a coach for the better part of everything going on. And now I do pictures, so I really don't ever hit, nor am I a big drinker nowadays. What are your thoughts on taking a drink to youth sports now that you have Yetis and stuff like that you can hide liquor in pretty easily?
I've never been a big drinker my whole life, so to see that, I would be like, no, it's not acceptable, because it's like one sip here, two sips. Next thing you know, it could be more, and then you could potentially start acting and behaving bad or inappropriate.
Fair.
Yeah, I'll start setting lines on the game. 4.5 runs over under kind of thing.
little side action.
A little side action, yeah.
So it is more and more common, even if you're not supposed to, because the whole Yeti, especially with like night games after work, like
oh gosh,
so many people will show up with
bad.
a wine and the Yetis or something. But I will say one time, I'm gonna out myself and Casey a little bit. Grayson had, I think, 2 games in one day, or pictures. I can't remember what. But we had enough time to go grab food. So we ended up going to Fuzzy's, had some tacos, had a couple margaritas. We went back to the field, and I'm going to say like halfway through the game, Casey and I are texting each other and being like, oh, like, she was like, I'm a little tipsy. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it too. Like, this is, no, maybe the 32-ounce margarita wasn't the best idea when we knew we had to be back out here.
As you stop drinking, your tolerance drops, so it won't take much anymore.
32-ounce
you're not wrong.
32. He got the share bowls and he drank the whole thing.
Took the shaker with him.
Oh, dude.
He just rolled the machine onto his truck.
So, no joke. There is a little hole in the wall Mexican place in the town my mom lives in, and they do the beeritas. So you get the big whatever schooner of margarita, put the beer in it.
Yeah,
man, 2 of those and you're on your butt. Like, we had to be careful. Like, it was like, if I was driving, I knew, okay, it was 1. And then after like the whole COVID thing happened and you can get these things to go, it was like, before, when Casey and I were on the schedule of like we could leave, we only had the 2 boys, so they were at their other houses on every other weekend. We'd be like, well, we'll stay at my mom's house. So we'd go there, drink. I would get one to go and take it back to my mom's house to have another one. And we'd just end up staying there. That's the best thing that came out of COVID, was to go drinks. Now that I'm not even a big drinker.
Was this one of those times where you didn't make it into the house and slept on the lawn?
No, that was a different time. That only happened once. And I was being a good husband. Casey wasn't feeling good. No. Okay. So, oh God, very long story short, I was in the doghouse because I played in a tournament, and then I decided to play 9 holes after the tournament, and then came home and was already pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But then we had to go back because we had a dinner that night at the club, because it was for the Men's Golf Association. And so she played catch up when I was already gone. So it ended up just being, we laughed about it the next morning. Let's just say that.
And then I remember he's like, I don't want to ever be that
anymore.
hungover again. And like 6 months later, he's on the couch hungover.
It's usually how it goes. I can't tell you the last time I was hungover now. Actually, that's not true. 2 years ago, when we went on vacation with the in-laws, went to Mexico, I was drinking straight tequila, like, because this is after my whole gluten allergy stuff. So figured out, okay, well, I was just drinking straight tequila. And the guy at the bar, it's all inclusive. So the bartender, like, he would see me and be like, "Amigo, tequila." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, give it to me." And man, I drank way too much one day. I didn't make it to dinner. Like, I slept, I think, for 13, 14 straight hours.
Oh, jeez, Alex.
I think that's the last time that I was legitimately hungover. So 2 years ago.
So the good news, I don't like tequila that much, so that will never get me.
I love tequila.
Well, I mean, did you have to say that, Marcus? We know your heritage.
Oh, I usually get mistaken for Arabian or Indian. So
apparently, now we're just on a podcast talking about alcohol. Apparently, there's something similar to
episode.
There's something similar to vodka from India. It's called Fini, Fini. I've been meaning to try it. I have a lot of Indian project managers that work for us. So I talked to them and they told me about it. They sell it at Total Wine. I just haven't gone to get it. I need to try it.
There are a lot of Indians in construction, like project management and estimators. Because I see the names when they do little RFQs. I was like, man, that is a long name. that's you owe the alphabet some letters. Like
we're gonna bring this back to golf. I went on a golf trip a few years back, and one of the guys that went, his first name Kyle, which is funny. Kyle, Ken, Kevin. First name was, but then his last name started, I can't remember what now, but it was like this really long, like 20-letter last name. So he was like, anytime I go to a bar and they take my tab, they ask, I say, it starts with this, and it's the longest last name in there. Like, he doesn't even say it. It's like, it starts with a C and it's the longest one you'll find.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's funny.
It's like, that's dumb. And, oh yeah, here you go, Mr. Ken.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here from youth sports. I'm going to be honest.
But okay, to bring it back a little bit to youth sports, and you asked me the question about the whole Yeti and the alcohol. So when I I only did the 1 year, the extra security that they had coaches and staff do at the football games, and the clear bag policy, the container policy, we had to check it, and the bottled waters, all that stuff. And there were some moms that would come in and they had their fancy Yeti drinks or whatever, like, hey, you can't bring it in. They're like, why? It's just water. I'm like, no, it's not. So their parents, that especially high school football, and I mean, these were full. So you imagine football game just sipping on that thing, especially when it's hot. And it's like, nope, you can't have it. No open containers at all, even if it's water. If it's water, dump it out. There's refill stations in there. So, oh, it's my special water. Okay. Like, no,
special water.
It's filtered.
It's pH balanced.
So yeah, we've had to come across that. Yeah.
If you ever do that and someone says it's filtered, you got to go, no,
it's really bad.
There's a difference.
It's distilled. It's distilled water.
Distilled spicy water.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand people
and
trying to do that.
Worse.
How do you? How do people actually think that they're going to get away with that?
But we're not. I haven't done that in a while.
So, like, you understand, like, high school, you would want to bring stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, that's like when you would want to sneak drinks in, but then it's like after you turn. I wouldn't say that. Maybe if I had kids and I was like 26, 27, I'd probably still be trying to get something. But then I think you get past 30 and it's just kind of, I'm over it. My body hurts. That's when you start sounding old.
Well, that's just it. These
like, I don't want to deal with it.
Right. It's like, it was cool back then, but you're a parent of a high school player who's on the field, or a cheerleader. You were coming here to watch your daughter or son or whatever band, and you're 40, 50 years old and bringing this stuff in and acting like that. Like, it's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessary. Yeah.
unless unless their kid's that bad and they just need it to help them pass the game.
It's like, I don't think I need, Jack Daniels to help me watch my kid ride the bench, you know? It's not gonna help me. That's like
It's gonna make it worse.
it's gonna make it worse.
So, actually, I'm on 2 sides of that because Maddie, up until until high school varsity year, she was never one to be on the bench. She was always the one on the field. So, of course, when we got to high school, we expected her to be on the field, and then her junior, senior year, it was a little mix. And again, personal opinion, who she was being replaced with was definitely not better. Like Maddie was definitely faster, had more skill with touch with the ball, but because of the situation who they're playing, the coaches obviously played favorites and chose, and it didn't work out.
Mhm,
Then Peyton, on the other side of it, tried soccer, and she was one of those ones that coached towards the end of whatever season. After a couple of years with the guy, um, I don't know, they were merging with another soccer club or something, and they were going to like, hey, Peyton's good, but she's not quite to the level where I need her. I'd love to keep her, but this is the situation. And if you wanted to look elsewhere, so she was kind of on the riding the bench, even at
mhm,
youth soccer,
yeah,
for her club. But her club team or youth team was actually pretty good. And she was also the youngest, the baby for the age group cutoffs that they used. And she just was not in the same driver's seat as her sister was with soccer, so
mhm.
at that point, she just hung it up and moved on and tried some different things, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, we're still in the early age or early stages here, so we'll see how it
So,
goes. I mean, yeah.
what's the age groups? What are their age groups?
So my son's 7
So
and
U7.
and my daughter's 3. So, but I mean, she's kind of a badass. Both of them are like at that age. Like I don't remember um like having the vision that my son has. Like
Mhm.
he's already passing the ball. He's looking at who he should pass it to, um, and anticipating kind of where it's gonna go. Which at his age, I mean, I didn't start playing till I was like 10, so I started late, and so just to see him do that, I mean, it's awesome. And um, my daughter, she's 3. Um, and at that age, they're still playing with male and female.
Mhm.
So she's pretty quick. She's short, but she's got fast little legs. I mean, they're just
Mhm.
like brrr, just kind of running. So she took the ball from I think the one male that was on that team, took it from him, and then just kind of outraced him to the goal, and then kicked it as soon as she got there. And so it was one of those things where it's just like, man, like that's a kind of proud dad moment.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like
Uh,
it was. Didn't expect it. I was like, I thought I kind of had a feeling she was going to be all right, but it was great to kind of see it. My brothers were there, and so it was. I turned into the loud parent.
so this so now it comes back to how much of it is exposure to the sports, like
Hmm.
seeing it, watching it, technology. How much
Yeah.
has that been helpful to them? And then because I mean, some of it's got to be instincts.
Hmm.
Just it just
Yeah.
happens naturally for some of these kids or people, and others have to work a little bit more at it. But
Hmm.
maybe that extra leverage, when we were growing up, we didn't have. Look at this film. Look at the study. Look at this.
Yeah.
Um, as kids today have, they can always replay, look back. Like even now, you know, golfers like us, like they always go back and we have the access to look at Tiger Woods growing up
Hmm.
playing swing,
Yeah.
look at his swing, look at his mechanics. When I was growing up, that didn't exist.
No.
Like we had no tools to figure this out. And then it's funny, it's like the coaching that I got years ago, even just a handful of years ago, for the golf swing is so different than the coaching I'm getting now. And the
Yeah.
coaching I'm getting now makes way more sense
Yeah.
because they've learned so much more through the use of technology and the body mechanics and things like that. So I was like, All right. So
Yeah.
technology can be useful. Just
It
used
certainly can.
appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah, like my son, he's big into like Ronaldo. He's like, oh, Ronaldo's the GOAT, and
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. And I was like, no, you need to see some Ronaldinho, because that's when I was growing up. Like he was, with the footwork and all that. And so I showed him some videos, and he's like, that's pretty cool. It's like I don't see Ronaldo moving like that. It's like, yeah, you don't.
Yeah. I mean, kids these days, they understand a little bit of Kobe, but obviously he obviously the situation, but he
Yeah.
was out before a lot of these high school kids got to really watch him.
Yeah.
But then I go, you know of Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, like Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, like you guys have to go back and try to find old footage of
Yeah.
them. But even when you just watch them play, there's that element, but there is just an animalistic approach that those guys took to the game that you just don't see it. Even in the
No.
pros, you don't see it in the same way.
Yeah. They have that. I don't know. It's a kind of win by any means necessary kind of mentality. There was a book that I had read, and it was the coach or the trainer that was for Michael Jordan and Kobe, and he was talking about what made them different is the edge that they had on everyone was he would outwork anybody, and it was just like, hey, and Kobe said in an interview, it's like, hey, we'll party, we'll go to the club at come back 2 in the morning. It's like, but 4 in the morning, I'll see you in the gym. It's like, if you want to keep keep doing that, you have to match me over here, and I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And it's different. They don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
I think
It's just different. I don't know. Even the high school athletes and stuff like that I see now, I'm like, you're just a different breed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, you guys are a different breed. And I don't know if it's our area. Like, you go to different areas of the state or country, they're raised differently. I don't know. I don't, it's kind of sad in a way that you just don't have guys that go out and flat out dominate like those guys did.
Yeah.
That could change the balance of the game.
Yeah. No, I think the last one that did that was probably LeBron, from what I remember. Maybe.
I mean, shoot,
Yeah.
related back to golf. I mean, until Scotty's going on this tear, no one approached it like they did, like Tiger.
Yeah.
And he had a certain mentality about it that just destroyed.
Yeah.
Just cutthroat, just destroyed him. I mean, Nicholas Arnold and all them, they were all solid, but he just took it to a different level.
Yeah. It's like that killer instinct.
Yeah, there you go.
He wasn't going to let up.
Yeah. Alex is like, can you hear me? No, can't hear you, can't see you, don't know what happened to you. Let's see, what else? Did he text you?
No, I was going to text the group there.
It's like, I don't want to end it, but I'm like, well, let's see.
He's here. He's here.
We're about to take a siesta.
I've been listening to y'all.
Oh, really? Oh,
my yeah, I was listening to that whole thing. LeBron and Kobe and my audio, I could hear y'all, but you couldn't hear me. I was just letting y'all talk anyways.
Yeah.
But where your camera went out and totally dropped from the screen, like
that whole time, like you couldn't.
No.
When you were talking about LeBron and everything, you couldn't even see me.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's funny. I was listening to that whole thing.
Okay. Oh, well, you got a preview for next week.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I was just kicking back over here, just listening. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I didn't know. Well, I got a notification that it said y'all couldn't hear me. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said your mic dropped on my end, and then your camera screen just disappeared.
Whatever.
I think we made it full circle though, back to sports. So we're back.
Yeah, and so what's the overall philosophy on parenting youth sports?
Don't mix alcohol with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest one.
I hope that it okay, even in the classroom, there's been a little bit of a shift in the good way with parents overstepping with their kids and letting the kids learn through this process a little bit more instead of being the helicopter parent, um, just trying to do everything for them. And I think with the youth sports, it's kind of like the same back where these parents are just trying to do everything for their kid to make them play better, do all this stuff, and instead of just let it happen. So I hope it's gonna take some time, but I hope it is gonna move in the right direction that parents will eventually just let it happen and then be more accepting of where the skill of their child is. And if they really want to move forward, then it's just like anybody. The kid has to show the interest. Like we've talked about youth sports, the kid has to be interested. Don't force it on them because then you're going to lose them and then they're going to go off and to do something else, which could be great. But again, I think parents need to let things just happen naturally and just see where it goes and then encourage it instead of trying to run it.
I don't know. For
Well,
me, just because you guys have been, shedding the light on it, is like bringing that team aspect back to sports, youth sports. I mean, that's the fun part about it. Is like that's your buddies who you're playing with, and I think just from hearing what we've kind of been talking about, I mean, feels like we're getting away from that a little bit. I mean,
yeah, it's always about the me. I want to be the guy
yeah,
who's going to get the recognition to be the big D1 signing or get the big scholarship or get the first pick of the draft. But
Mhm.
hopefully, it seems like in college, the teams kind of get better.
hmm
But for high school and even younger sports, it really is like who is the one person instead of being a team.
Well, I think it depends on what sport too. Because if you look at college football, there are some teams that I don't want to take away. I think Indiana, as much as I hate them, 'cause I'm a Purdue guy, and they beat Miami in the championship. I think they are a team, and they made that a big deal during that whole week lead up. Was they don't have any 5-star recruits, blah blah blah. So I think NFL. I think college football is still very much individual because it's all about
hmm
how do I get enough stats to transfer to one of the big schools in a year. And we talked about this a little bit in golf. All these players are starting off at smaller schools and then transferring to finish up
hmm
at one of the big schools. I think golf is a little bit easier to be an individual because at the end of the
yeah,
day, you're not playing as um
it's not a team.
as a
Yeah,
team. You contribute to a team, but you're not playing
hmm
as a team. You're
Yep.
still your
hmm
own individual person playing against someone else. So I think that one has a little bit more latitude to be individualistic in mindset. But I think a lot of the sports, it's all about the personal brand. I
hmm
don't know how you go back from that with the NIL era.
yeah.
No, at this point, it's all trashed.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where people were saying, "Oh yeah, got to pay the players," but then now we're kind of seeing that backlash on that going down to youth sports on
Mhm.
that mindset, which didn't anticipate, I guess.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
probably should have.
Yeah.
aiming goes all the way up to the top. Like, I mean, look at these guys in the NFL getting thrown this kind of money and they're not even achieving or performing. It's like someone's got to control it. And at that point, it's the owners that got to control it. I mean, you got Kirk Cousins. They said he's like if genius, like he got paid more than like Aaron Rodgers and he's done nothing.
Mhm.
Um, Kyler Murray got paid out a chunk and now he's potentially going to be released. Tua, I think he will be released from Cardinals. Tua got a big payout. And he's probably going to be released by Miami
Yeah,
or
but it's
traded.
even baseball's even worse. They
Yeah,
sign
and
big contracts, and
basketball.
that's guaranteed money. That's not even
Yeah,
a structured deal. Like, it's just this like, how many times do you have the Rangers organization playing for a player that they traded, and they're still paying for him because it's guaranteed
yeah.
money?
Oh yeah, A-Rod. That whole issue with A-Rod years ago. Albert Pujols when he took that big money from St. Louis to the Angels, he
Mhm.
crapped on it.
I think Shohei's going to get paid for the next 50 years or something with his
Oh, something
contract.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane, these
Oh,
contracts.
the Bobby Bonilla day, he's going to get paid $1 million every year on that specific day from the Mets because
Yeah.
the way they did his contract. It's like something dumb.
That'd be great to know exactly what day every year you get $1 million. Just be like, yeah, can't wait for that day. Can't wait for that day right there.
Either he was a genius or they were so blinded and dumb that they just only like.
That's gonna be Shohei.
$1 million a year is steal, counting that you have quarterbacks making 40 a year or 50 a year or whatever they're making.
Gosh.
So all goes back to our kids aren't making this kind of money, so maybe we just chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep sipping your Tito's and just don't yell at the ref. I don't know.
We are not advocating for sideline drinking on this podcast.
Yes.
No. You do you, but
I won't unless you do.
Marcus is he's the worst kind of friend to have around. He's not the one that's going to talk reason to you. He's the one that's like, yeah, whatever. It sounds fun.
Yeah. I'm very reasonable. I mean, I think it through. Like, this is why I struggle. I shouldn't say I struggle. Maybe I actually play better with you, because half the time when I'm debating, and he's always encouraging me to do the stupid thing, and it's like, all right, whatever. It's like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to get back in the cart, and we're going to sip another sip of the drink,
dude. Okay, but this has become a problem. I legit have not played golf since maybe a week after you and I played.
Damn. Well, we're about to get to scramble season here, so I'm gonna start hitting it hard here pretty soon.
I think the next time I will be playing outside is at the scramble with Jason, which is next week from Friday. No, it's next Friday.
I thought it was Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah. Did you sign up?
I thought you signed us up.
Oh no, I did myself. But I didn't know you were, because you were still giving me the question mark. But I can add you in.
Oh, I thought you were signing up the team. So
okay, easy enough. I mean, I know the guy.
He is the guy.
I need to. I need to ask off work still, but I'm not. That's not going to be a problem. All right. So that was fun. Long, random podcast there.
Hey, sometimes you need these.
Any last thoughts about what we originally came on, youth sports and the overbearing parents? Well, we found out Marcus is an overbearing parent.
We found out together, fellas.
I've grown in my wisdom, and I still got a few more years before I go back to youth sports. So I think I'm okay. So it's a matter of what you two are going to set the trend moving forward.
Don't look at me.
I took my brother-in-law's path of remove yourself. So I found photography, and now I just sit behind a lens and watch my kids, and it keeps my mouth shut.
I need to find something.
So you can be Marcus and talk, or you could be me and just keep your mind occupied.
So is it going to be Marcus?
What? No, I think he was talking to you. I know what I'm going to be. I'll run my mouth. I'm self-aware here.
I do that. I wanted to hear it. I knew you were saying. I just wanted to hear it.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
All right, guys.
Oh my gosh.
You got anything else? Anything of semi-worth for our listeners here?
Enjoy.
Be self-aware.
Be self-aware.
Sip some Tito's and listen.
We're gonna finish this off with a life lesson. Just be self-aware.
Self-aware. And own it.
We just redeemed wasting. We just redeemed wasting an hour of everyone's time with the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This podcast could have been wrapped up in 30 seconds.
Free.
Just put this part at the front end of the podcast, and everyone will think that we actually had a really deep conversation, and then just come to find out it was an hour of us completely wasting everyone's time.
Yeah, it makes it entertaining. The drive will be fun.
Yeah.
My drive next Wednesday will be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll listen to it while we're playing golf. Let's put it on instead of music. We're going to listen to our podcast.
They're like, who's that? Who are you guys listening to? Us. You guys love each other that much? Yeah, we do.
Yeah. You don't love your own scent? Yeah. I love it.
I don't love your own scent. All right, gents. Well, if that's all, as always, everyone, like, listen, follow YouTube, Amazon, Spotify. and Apple. And I'm going to stop saying what next week is going to be because I don't know what next week is going to hold. We might
I have
talk to
no
IGP.
idea.
It might be another hour of the three of us just being idiots. So tune in and you'll find out.
Can't
There
wait.
you
All right, boys.
go. All right.
See you next week.
See you next week.